RB Battles Season 2 was a Roblox event that began on November 16th, 2020 and ended on December 14th, 2020. Just like the first RB Battles event, which took place in 2019, 16 top Roblox YouTubers competed against one another in a tournament, going head-to-head in different games. This event was a bit different from RB Battles Season 1, due to having player involvement this time. In the Season 1 RB Battles event, there was actually only 2 items players could obtain, this being the Shield of Wisdom and the Roblox Battle Cap. The Roblox Battle Cap was given as just a free catalog item, while the Shield of Wisdom can only be obtained by entering your Roblox profile onto the survey section of the event page and select the YouTuber who you predicted that would win in the overall tournament. If you chose the right winner, you would have been awarded this prize on October 1st, 2019. That was all that the player involvement was in Season 1, but this time it is way different. This time we have a Gunter event. Since this is a Gunter event of Roblox, this means that we have something to hunt for. This being 3 items. DJ's Sword of Agility, Sabrina's Sword of Healing, and Russo's Sword of Truth. Once you obtain those 3 items, it then prepares you for the final battle, in which the first 30 players to complete the final battle receive the Hood of Champions. Like I mentioned earlier, the event began on November 16, 2020, but there was things relating to it which happened prior to this, so let me dive into that. The first tease for this event was on May 15, 2020 by the Roblox Battles Twitter account. This is the Twitter account which is owned by all 3 hosts of the RB Battles event. This being Sabrina Wright, DJ Monopoly, and Russo Plays. Each sword in this event is meant to represent the hosts and their avatar colors. And on May 15th, they had tweeted, "Season 2 is coming and it will knock your socks off. Even if you aren't wearing socks, it will put socks on your feet, and then knock them off. It's gonna be a few months, but get excited." And then on June 9th, 2020, there was something big which would explain this event to us. This being a dev forum post posted by DJ Monopoly. Dev collaboration opportunity for RB Battles Season 2, upcoming Roblox event. The RB Battles team is looking for developers who are interested in integrating challenges, Easter eggs, or anything special into their game to participate in the RB Battles Championship Season 2 event later this year. We were huge fans of the Ready Player One Roblox event, and we would love to bring that excitement back to players. The rest of this post is actually what the hosts are looking for games that are partaking in this event. But then if you go down to here where it says when, we're looking to get started on this right away, because we are looking to record the episodes as soon as we can so they take months to produce. But the event is set to launch in mid-September. As you can see, this clearly didn't end up happening. Then, on June 22nd, 2020, there was this tweet. For Season 2 of the RB Battles Championship, each game involved will have a unique RB Battles integration for the YouTuber competitors, and you, the players. But we kinda already knew that there were some unique RB Battles integrations in each game. And the dev forum post I was just talking about, there's this line. So far we already have some games on board for the event, including Piggy, Jailbreak, and a few other awesome games. But we would like most, if not all of the games that we choose for competitors competing to have some sort of developer involvement for this season. And then the developer of Piggy, Minitoon, stated this on a live stream.
There's still lots of work to be done. You know, I have the upcoming RB Battles thing, which is, I don't know how much I can say about that, but I think you guys are gonna really like what is going to be coming for the RB Battles update.
Which he later then 100% confirmed that Piggy's got a big update coming. It will be participating in the new Roblox Battles tournament. I'm really looking forward to it. There was a little bit of silence after that, but on August 7th, 2020, there would be this posted by the RB Battles Twitter. It was a circle icon of 3 question marks, each being in the host colors. This ended up being used as a badge icon for each game in the event. And then the delay. On August 23rd, 2020, RB Battles tweeted, "We came up with some amazing ideas to make Season 2 even better, but we need more time. We're delaying the release of Season 2 until November, but it will be even more epic." And then on October 29th, 2020, Roblox Battles tweeted and posted this video on their YouTube.
I never thought that Roblox would push me to such limits. The top 3 Roblox events were probably the RPO event, the 2018 event, and then this one as well. Roblox, more events like this in the future. This was really, really awesome.
It was teasing how the game was gonna look, and it ended off with this clip of Creekcraft saying,
Roblox, more events like this in the future. This was really, really awesome.
After this, the tweets following this would be competitor announcements, these being popular YouTubers that were going to actually partake in the live streams and videos hosted by the Roblox Battles. They would be competing for the grand prize of 1 million Robux and a special Roblox avatar item. These began on October 31st, 2020, the first competitor being Creekcraft, following with I Am Santa, Rye Guy, Kindly Kayan, Dylan Hyper, Sketch, Carlay, Pita Bread, Brianna Games, Preston Games, Ashley the Unicorn, Big B Stats, Casio, Tanker, Megan Plays, and the final announcement on November 15, 2020 being Dennis Daly. In between that though, we started to get some leaks. On November 2nd, 2020, RBX Leaks posted the swords as avatar items. So at least we knew now these weren't just gears and would actually be wearable on our avatars. And on November 14th, 2020, the Roblox Battles Twitter account posted this: a 7-hour countdown timer for when the RB Battles game would release. And on November 14th, 2020 at 2:34 p.m. PST, the RB Battles game officially released. This was only the game releasing though. The event actually began on November 16th, 2020. But let's dive into the game. Welcome to the RB Battles game, specifically titled RB Battles Minigames. This game will be used as basically like a hub for the RB Battles event, but it's also its own playable thing. You can get coins and buy things from the shop. Overall, it's a pretty cool game, but it's really nothing special. Honestly, listening to like the background music and like just looking at this hub in general is making me kind of nostalgic. This is like 5 years ago, but let me just get back to the video. My bad. Besides this though, this is really the only thing that happened on November 14th. So let's just move forward. So on November 16, 2020, the Roblox Battles YouTube channel posted this. It's a fully animated video showing all the competitors for this event. But what truly matters is this part.
This time around in RB Battles Season 2, we wanted a way for you, the players, to compete as well.
Each day, a new RB Battles Championship episode is released. The game that's played in that video will update with a brand new, unique, never-before-seen RB Battles Challenge. Complete the RB Battles challenges in each game to earn special event badges and acquire some awesome limited items along the way.
Here's how you can get these items. Earn all 12 event badges to unlock the winner's wings in the badge room of our RB Battles Roblox game.
Also, we lost our swords and need your help!
Hidden within any of the 13 participating games lies our 3 hidden swords, which also happen to be pretty awesome Roblox items that you can earn for yourself. Finding the swords won't be an easy task, but there will be clues and riddles hidden everywhere, including the Season 2 Championship episodes to help you track them down.
But that's not all! There's even more limited items up for grabs. Earn the winner's wings, find all 3 of our swords, and place our swords in the secret sword shrine in our RB Battles game to unlock the final battle!
Win the final battle to earn the Antlers of Honor. Now, this is where things get interesting. Not only will everyone who completes it get the Antlers of Honor, but in addition to that, the first 10,000 players to win will receive the Golden Antlers of Honor, and the first 30 players to conquer the final battle will receive the Hood of Champions.
Can you complete all 12 challenges, find the swords, and be one of the first to compete in the final battle?
Visit the RB Battles event page to keep up with the Season 2 Championship. Place your vote before the first episode premieres on November 19th for who you think will win the entire championship.
And if you vote correctly, you win the Gold Like a Battle Chain!
So that explains what the event is. So let's get started. Alright, November 17th, 2020. At around 11 a.m. PST, it was discovered that the first item was in row beats. The reason why was because this started going around. I can't really confirm who exactly discovered this part first, but let me dive into how this was found. If you go to this Dance Dance Revolution machine in row beats and type in the Konami code, which is up up, down down, left right, BA, start, this will pop up. Secret dance acquired. Got a new dance, Godlike RB Battles exclusive. Now what could this be used for? The indicator that you were on the right path with this was because the RB Battles logo would flash on the screen on the Dance Dance Revolution machine for every correct input you put in. Around like an hour later, this image started going around. On the bottom it says, you feel as if a hidden sequence of events has been set in motion. The way to get this comment to show up is after you've done the Konami code, you have to play the Roblox anthem. It doesn't matter what score you get, just as long as you play it. The next step is play the song Crab Rave. You feel as if you're getting closer to your destination. The next step would be play the song Wither. You feel as if you're right on the cusp of a great discovery. And the last song you'll be playing was Monday Night Monsters. Once you do that, it will say, you feel as if a great secret has been revealed, but where? Look around. But you need to equip something. The equip is in capital letters. What you have to do is go to the gear shop and purchase the Oni sword. Once you do that, you want to go to your gears and equip it. Then you want to go to the building that says move your blocks. Once you're in this building, there'll be this little pop-up near the elevator. You want to click it and then it'll take you up. You want to climb up these stairs and then go to this middle area. There's a sword right there. Clicking on the RB Battles logo above the sword awards you the question mark badge. And that awards you with the DJ Sword of Agility avatar item. And on November 17, 2020 at 3:58 p.m. PST, OO_Maple was the first to obtain DJ Sword of Agility. So there's some extra information that I think would just be kind of beneficial to talk about right here. This entire puzzle was literally just solved out of sheer guessing. We had no hints or anything. DJ Monopoly was not sharing anything on Twitter which could have helped. So it was literally just us guessing for each song and just hoping it worked, which I guess it did. This quest was bugged a little originally. There'd be times where at the end when you're gonna go on the elevator, the logo wouldn't show up. The only possible solution to fixing this would be to play the last song, Monday Night Monsters again, and it would probably show up after that. It was also originally thought to wear all of these gears I put in the picture, but you only need to have the sword in order to actually go on the elevator. After this, there was some big speculation involving this game. This was a fake fan-made custom RB Battles final thing. People believed it was real due to when you join you get the Sword of Agility badge, but the developer has no ties to anyone with RB Battles, and he even came out and said that he knows nothing. But I think people were just gullible at that time. The last thing to occur on November 17th, 2020 was this. Basically, this placeholder bracket for the RB Battles thing was kind of leaked. It was just a placeholder, but people believed that this was the true thing. But the RB Battles Twitter account eventually came out and said that it was a placeholder, so this was kind of pointless. Besides that though, there was nothing else on November 17th, 2020. But we have one secret item down. On November 18, 2020, the only other thing to be found was the fact that the jailbreak badge had one person win it. Confirmed, the next RB Battle sword is in jailbreak. It was later confirmed though that Asimo, the developer of jailbreak, was the person to get the badge, but he wasn't awarded an item, so people just assumed that currently the jailbreak badge was broken. On November 19th, 2020, Sabrina Wright posted on Twitter what looks to be a hint. The tweet says, "Before it begins, something shall pass," which matches the likes of the only host with class. It's pretty vague, so we kind of just didn't know what this meant at the time. The first episode of the RB Battles Championship also premiered on November 19th, this being Dennis Daly and Kindly Kevin in Parkour Tower. Dennis ends up taking the win for the video, so he moves up in the bracket. Once the episode of RB Battles finished, the game they played in that video would have their badge updated. It would make it accessible for players to complete the quest and get a badge towards getting the winner's wings. To get this badge, you just want to complete the obby sequence. You have to collect keys and stuff to unlock the gates, but as long as you do finish it, you're awarded the badge. That was basically it though, so let's move forward to November 20th, 2020. I'm going to group a couple of these days into their own section just because there's just not enough to talk about for each day. So let's just get started. And on the morning of November 20th, 2020, someone else got the question mark badge. Still, we didn't exactly know how to get this, but there's a new episode of RB Battles. A new episode of RB Battles premiered, this being Creekcraft versus Sketch and Ronald. Creekcraft ends up taking the win for this video. To get the Ronald RB Battles Challenge badge, you just had to complete the portal race map. The Roblox Battles Twitter account posted this little small picture. It said RB with a button on it. So let me show you how to get this badge. To get this badge, you had to go on top of the bank and go to this flag. There'd be the letters RB with the target in the middle of it. The same one that was posted on the Roblox Battles Twitter. You want to get any gun and just shoot at this target right here. Once you do that, you'll get another hint. Sorry, no sword in jailbreak, but let this hint guide you to the next game. When the violet goes by, you need to act quick, but only in the midst of a backstabber's picnic. Once you do that, you'll also be awarded the question mark badge in the jailbreak game. So, this wasn't where there was another sword, but at least we have a hint to go forward. On November 21st, 2020, another episode of RB Battles premiered, Rye Guy vs Big B Stats. This would take place in the game Super Striker League. Rye Guy ended up taking the win for this game. But near the 16-minute mark in this video, Rusa Plays says this. And at the end of this video, this was at the end. If you then put this into a spectrogram, it would read, "Behind a wall that's always falling, lies some knowledge that's never calling. Pick this knowledge in the correct order, and you'll be on your way by a quarter. Later on that day, November 21st, 2020, there would be this discovered. So you need to go in the Roblox game Piggy and then go to the map Alleys. When the violet goes by, you need to act quick, but only in the midst of a backstabber's picnic. This implies that when you look outside the glass here in the kitchen area, you will eventually see a violet van quickly pass by. Once the countdown hits around 7 minutes, this pink button will show up. You are only able to see these buttons if you are in trader mode because of a backstabber's picnic. Then once you go to the laundry area, there'll be another pink button. And behind this pillar there's another button, which was blue here. And this is kind of where people got stuck with this. That was all that was discovered in Piggy this day though. On November 22nd, a new episode of RB Battles premiered. This being Preston versus Tanker in Island Royale. Tanker ends up winning this one. To get the Island Royale RB Battles badge, all you had to do was win a match in the 1v1 Roblox Battles mode. On November 22nd, 2020, Sabrina Wright posted this on Twitter. I'm not even going to try to say this, but it's basically just captions mixed around. In the Ronald RB Battles episode, if you turn on the captions right when the video starts, at the bottom it says activate buttons at 12:34. Once you go to 12:34 in the video, it says use code RBB. So like picture this, how each number has letters next to it, that's basically what you're doing here. Since it was RBB, R is right next to 7, so 7 was the first number. And since B was twice, we just had to look at the number 2. B is right there. So it's 722. And on November 23rd, 2020, there'd be another episode of Roblox Battles. This being Dylan Hyper versus Carlay in Murder Mystery 2. To get the Murder Mystery 2 RB Battles badge, you had to collect the RB Battles knife from an NPC. This NPC is found in 3 maps, Factory, House 2, and End Studio. You only need to collect the knife once. Once you collect the knife, you'll be awarded with the badge. That's basically it for November 23rd, 2020. But November 24th, 2020 becomes far more eventful. November 24th, 2020. There's a new episode of RB Battles. This being Brianna Games versus I Am Santa. At around 21 minutes and 30 seconds into the video, this shows up. Behind a wall that's always falling lies some knowledge that's never calling. Pick this knowledge in the correct order, and you'll be on your way by a quarter. This pointed us towards build a boat for treasure, so let's dive in. So once you get into build a boat, you want to go down to this waterfall. Behind this waterfall is basically this like secret room. Go back to the hint that was provided in the Roblox Battles video. On certain words there's a color. The first word is yellow, the second word is red, basically just like that. What you want to do here is click on each book color that is provided in the hint. You want to click on it in order that the colors are provided. The order of these books is like this yellowish color as the first one, red as the second one, pink as the third one, light blue as the fourth one, green is the fifth one, and then this door will slide open. But there's another code you have to input. Click on this like yellowish color, red but it's the darker red, the pink that's right next to it, then the peach one on the left, then the orange one on the bottom, then green, black, and the purple one, and then press the black one once again. Now that you've done that, this will slide open. There'll be this little rocket that comes out and it'll shoot up in the air. And then there's a secret thing that opens below it. Once you walk in, there's 3 computer terminals right in front of you. Clicking on it puts these little red squares on it. It was quickly discovered that the one on the left would turn green if you put in the letter R, and then the one on the right would turn green if you put in the letter B. But now we had to figure out the middle one. Around the map there would be these bottles that spawn. I don't have an exact image of what the bottles look like, but I do have pictures of the maps. I would like to thank Gunting Grounds for these images as I literally have not seen these anywhere else. Basically, they would have these white dots on them and these red dots on them. There was multiple that would come up. How this works here is, the white dots are the ones you're not supposed to click, but the ones that are red are the ones you're supposed to click. Once you have enough of these, you'll have enough evidence to form the final image, which was this sword. And once you do that, you want to just head down. There's a lever that you want to click, and then this portal will turn on. Go inside of the portal. You'll then be teleported into this place called the secret place. Now you're in a boss fight which is fighting against a computer. If you watched my previous video in RB Battle Season 3, you'll know this computer actually makes a return. You're not alone for this boss fight, as any of your friends that actually went in the portal at the same time you did are able to partake in it as well. Eventually you'll defeat it, and in the robot's hand is a blue sword. Going up to it awards you with the question mark badge. That gives you Russo's Sword of Truth. And on November 24th, 2020 at 2:01 PM PST, Roku was the first to obtain this item. If that name sounds kind of familiar, it's because it is. Roku was the one who won the Dominus Venari during the Ready Player One event. During this event, he was working with Gunting Grounds. The first 13 people are all members of Gunting Grounds. They were split up into 2 servers at this time, and they were the first ones to complete it by a little bit. They had about a 20-minute gap towards everyone else. And this is mainly because they were the first ones to figure out what the middle screen was supposed to be displaying. But let me rewind a little. That wasn't the only secret item found this day, and actually there was an item before then. While people were trying to figure out build a boat for treasure because of this hint, people realized that the other secret item was also found during this time. So let me dive into it. If you go back a couple of minutes ago of this video and look back to what I said about what Bigby discovered in Piggy, this is the continuation of that. Let me start from the beginning though. Go into Piggy Book 2, Alleys, which is Chapter 1. And be sure you start this in the trader mode. When you first go into the map, you want to go to where this is. This is keypad with like 3 numbers. They should be set to 0 when you first look at it, but you want to change this to 722. This is known because of Sabrina's hint she gave us a couple of days ago. Then once you do that, you want to go to the diner area and go behind this specific chair. At around 7 minutes, there'll be a pink button that spawns. Then you want to go near the laundromat and click this pink button. And then you want to go press the button near the pillar. You know you did this correctly when this little sound cue plays. Now once that is done, you want to go to Book 2, Chapter 2, the store map, and make sure it's on infection. You're looking for specific items. The items you'll be picking up are this purple potion, this purple teddy bear, and then this purple book. You want to go to where these shelves are and basically just like hug against all of them. They'll automatically place themselves once you do that. And once each of the 3 items are in a different shelf, move on. If you do some exploring, you'll notice that there's a cracked wall here. Like I mentioned, you had to open the whole map. Doing that should have given you a purple key, a green key, and a cyan key. Take all of those keys and go to the wall with the crack on it. Press against it and then it'll open up. Going up and touching the sword will award you with the question mark badge, which awards you with Sabrina's Sword of Healing. And on November 24th, 2020 at 12:47 p.m. PST, Common_Robin was the first to obtain Sabrina's Sword of Healing. They did this along with Brainy Tier. While people were solving Russo's item, this image has started going around about the purple sword. If you notice on the left, Robin Bird 667 alt, they ended up changing their name to Common_Robin, and as I just said, they were first to this item. So now we had all the RB Battle swords complete. If you wear all of them at once, it kind of makes this cool gigantic sword. That's kind of all the important stuff that occurred on November 24th, 2020. Since the video released on this day, that means there's a new challenge badge for the wings. This wasn't buildable for treasure. To get the buildable for treasure RB Battles badge, you had to compete against other teams in a special challenge to earn exclusive blocks. Winning awards you with the badge. But with that being said, that concludes November 24th, 2020. So I'm going to call this period the kind of like gap period because nothing really happened, so I'm just going to group it all into its own section once again. But on November 25th, there was a new episode of RB Battles. This being Megan Plays or Kaiso in Row Beats. Kaiso ends up taking the win for this. To get the RB Battles badge in Row Beats, you just had to talk to each host and complete each song they're asking you to do. On November 26, 2020, another episode of RB Battles premiered, this being It's Pita Bread versus Ashley the Unicorn in Islands. Ashley the Unicorn ended up taking the win for this video. To get the RB Battle badge in Islands, you want to do the scavenger hunt. You need to collect 5 stone, 5 fish, 2 bread, 10 slime balls, 5 coral, and 1 tomato. Once you do that and click redeem, you'll be awarded with the badge. Then we enter the semifinals. On November 28, 2020, the first semifinals battle began. It was Creekcraft versus Dennis in Piggy. Creekcraft ended up taking the win for this video, so he moves on. To get the RB Battles challenge badge in Piggy, you just had to complete the special RB Battles map. Doing so awards you with the badge. Remember how I stated that in order to get to the final battle, you need all 3 swords, the winner's wings, and the shrine activated. So let's go activate the shrine. What you need before doing this is at least 10 wins in the game, the skins of all 3 hosts, and all the swords. Enter the code 3440R404 in the Twitter codes and equip the item once. At the beginning of the fan obby, there is a door with a keypad. Input 763233495 and then activate the lever inside. Equip DJ skin and reach the end of the lobby obby. Then you want to do this lever puzzle. Take out his sword and equip it in the in-game inventory and it should charge with the orb. And then you want to do the same thing for Sabrina. Equip Sabrina's skin and sword in the fan obby. And once again, solve the lever puzzle, take out her sword, and then boom, you charged it up. And then you want to take the elevator to the 2nd floor. In the back row of the chairs, on the left side facing the host, one of the carpet green stars next to a chair leg is clickable. Click it. A new door in the same room should open. And then you want to do the same thing that you had done with DJ and Sabrina. Now that you have all 3 swords charged up, you want to take them to the ship. It's the ship next to the fan. Once you find the shrine, you want to equip each sword and hold it up. A little cutscene should play where the sword goes into the thing. You want to do that 3 times. When you put the first one in, you'll be awarded with the Shrine Discovered badge. And now all your swords are charged up. And on November 29th, 2020, something weird happened. Now you needed 12 badges to get the wings. Then how are people getting it? Let me just explain this a little. Literally all you had to do was jump and touch the spinning logo in the lobby. Sabrina Bright later came out on Discord and stated, "We are looking into what happened with the wings, but it seems someone could have done it on purpose because some of our devs say the way it was done couldn't have been an accident. So we're going to ask Roblox to help us. I'm so sad that someone would possibly want to do that to us after all the hard work we've done on the event. Like I said, not sure about it if it was on purpose, but we are going to check with Roblox about it and see what we can do about it to get it sorted out." The badge count stopped at 808 because it was patched. So people basically just had the wings early at this time. On December 1st, 2020, Roblox Battles posted this on Twitter. "Who is JP?" with this image. "Good work, battler. You successfully cracked the code and discovered the secret shrine. All you need to do now is earn the winner's wings and wait for the ship to finish fueling up all the way. Once all that is complete, you should have everything you need to pilot the ship to the final battle. If my calculations are correct, I'm estimating the ship will be finished fueling and prepared for takeoff sometime on December 5th. In the meantime, I highly recommend you get some practice in." Another semifinals match premiered that day as well, being Ashley the Unicorn versus Queso in Crusher. Ashley ended up taking the win for this video. To get the RB Battles challenge badge in Crusher, you just want to select the RB Battles map and play through it. As long as you survive, you'll be awarded with the badge. Also on December 1st, 2020, this video started to go around. Posted by Machinate. It was titled "Getting to RB Battles Final Early," and it was basically just an edited Kingdom Hearts 2 final boss fight to have RB Battles assets. This was made by Magical Great Kirby, and this is literally like one of my favorite RB Battles forms of media just because of how big of a Kingdom Hearts fan I am, if you haven't been able to tell. But yeah, this happened, some people believed it, but it was debunked kind of quickly. On December 4th, 2020, all the winners' wings that were awarded due to that glitch that I mentioned on November 30th, 2020 were changed into the not winners' wings. It was just this invisible item, but if you put it on, it would be this eye patch. The Battle Back competition aired on December 4th, 2020. Which is Dennis Daly versus Rai Guy versus I Am Santa versus Casio. And then Dennis ends up winning this, so he progresses onto the final. And then the final badge is made available in Build Battle. To get the RB Battles Challenge badge in Build Battle, you want to vote on the topic RB Battles Green Sword. If you get the most votes, you win and you're awarded with the RB Battles badge. Once you obtain the badge in Build Battle, you can go back to the hub and go to the badge room. A little animation will play which places the last badge onto the wall, and the winner's wings go onto your avatar. On December 5th though, there was a new item which was able to be obtained, this being the RB Battle Popcorn Bucket. You could only get this by receiving a code from any of the hosts or any of the developers of the RB Battles event. And on December 5th, 2020, which was supposed to be the day of the final battle for us players, there was the final live stream for the RB Battles competitors. And Tinker was the one who won it. So he won 2 million Robux, the Champion Sword Pack 2.0, and a special in real life RB Battles trophy. On December 6, 2020, RB Battles tweeted, "It's looking like the final battle will be ready to go with minimal testing on Monday. We see your tweets and it appears many of you are concerned about it coming out on a weekday because of school. Which of the below options would you prefer? Respond to the option you want. Wait to release on Saturday when everyone's out of school. We can test it a lot, fix bugs, patch exploits, and add a bunch of awesome stuff from the original plan that we have to cut out due to the lack of time and make it more fair. You'll have more time to catch up on badges/swords too. 2. Release sooner, probably Monday, with minimal testing/bug fixing and less features while many of you are in school. Let us know which one you prefer by liking and replying to the one you want, either 1 or 2. So with the note that I had shown you earlier that was left by JP, this basically confirms that the final battle was not happening on December 5th, as we're already past that date, and here they are trying to give us a different date for the final battle. On December 8th, 2020, we got a confirmation when the final battle would be. The portal for the final battle to have a chance at getting the Hood of Champions will be open on Saturday, December 12th at 12 PM PST. So, I'll see you guys then. Fast forwarding to December 12th, 2020, there'd be a timer on the fueling shrine screen. About an hour before the final battle actually began, Roblox Battles confirmed winged captains only. So you needed to be wearing the wings and the swords from this event in order to actually get into the final battle. And then at 12 PM PST, the final battle was made available. Let the race begin. In order to enter into the final battle, you want to go into the RB Battles game. Make your way to the ship near the portal. It's where the shrine was. Next to the shrine, there's something new. This command thing that if you hold E on says take off. The final battle starts off with you piloting the ship and fighting these hands off. You have to destroy both of them. Once they lose all their health and explode, it's time for the real challenge. You want to make sure you grab each sword, as each sword has its own use. Rissa Sword of Truth is used to find hidden things on the walls. Sabrina's Sword of Healing heals you, and DJ's Sword of Agility makes you faster. There's also a robot that's trying to kill you the entire time you're in this area, so be careful. So if you go to specific points in this map, there'll be these kind of code things. Next to it is going to be an emoji of each host. Next, each little emoji thing will have a different host for each thing you look at. Now the locations of each of the symbols are the same, but they're different for each player. If you do leave or end up dying, you don't have to do this entire puzzle again, as it saves itself. So there's 8 codes around the map. 3 Russo, 2 Sabrina, 2 DJ, and 1 sword. Once you obtain each code, you want to then translate them. Here's an image of the updated RB Battles alphabet. This is what you use to translate it. Each code translates to something, which points you towards a certain game. And then here's the entire conversion for each of them. And near where the ship crashed, there's this massive screen with a bunch of minigame games. This is where you input the code. There are 4 tiles you have to click for your code. Click it in your order. If you did it right, there'll be a massive green check mark that shows up on the screen, and then it'll push out and it'll open for you to go in. And now you're in this underground cave section. Once you get through the obby, you'll be in this classroom area. Me personally, this is literally like my favorite section of like this whole event in general. I just love the concept of it, and like Mr. Boringsworth needs more appearances. But let me dive into it. Once you sit down in this specific chair, Mr. Boringsworth will come up to you. He's going to hand you this quiz. There's 5 questions. All these questions relate to RB Battles and the entire event. They do vary for each player though. You're not allowed to click out of Roblox at this time because Mr. Boringsworth will catch you cheating. But like, you can like use your phone, so just do that. On screen I'll be showing all the questions and all the answers. These vary from like steps to get the swords or like things that happen in the videos. Once you complete all 5 questions, your character will be teleported to this red X. And Mr. Boringsworth will analyze your test. If you got any wrong, you'll die here, but if you get any right, he'll pull the lever and you'll fall through. You'll now be in a new obby section. This time there's a timer at the top. Time until the final battle starts. You have 8 minutes to reach the other section. This obby isn't too challenging, it's just a bit confusing and complicated just because of where the locations are you're supposed to jump to. But you'll know you'll reach the end of it when you get to this specific door. And now you're in this room with just a bunch of more doors. You can't be in here for too long as there's that timer waiting for you. There's only one specific door you're supposed to look for. If you go into any other door during that time, you'll just be teleported back into here through a different door. To get to the correct door, you just go to the left here and it's a small blue door. If you went through the right door, you'll be through this thing that has like 3 fans on it. Go through it. There's this like black void, you would just want to jump into that. And now you're in a completely new area. If you notice, there's a host on each hoverboard. You're now in the competitor section. During this section, you'll be going against the finalists for the RB Battles Championship. And your first opponent is Ashley the Unicorn. You're going against her in dodgeball. It's not just you versus Ashley the Unicorn in this one, as the hosts are also throwing dodgeballs at you. But to get through this section, you simply just have to throw the dodgeballs and get her down to 0 health. When she gets to 0 health, she dies and you can move on. You'll then immediately be thrown into another battle. This is versus Dylan Hyper. You'll be going against him in tiles. It wasn't discovered until like a little while that you just cannot win this no matter how hard you try. But it's alright to lose this. Once you lose that, you'll be sent to the battle back against Tanker. This one in Cosmic Hearts. To win this, you just want to make sure you stay ahead of him during these 3 laps. This one isn't too difficult in my opinion, it's simply just the car is incredibly buggy that you're driving, so you just want to be as careful as you can, take it slow at certain times, just don't lose track of it. Once you beat Tanker, you're on to the final competitor, Creecraft. This being in Progress Predicament. This is honestly the most challenging out of all of them, which kind of makes sense because it's the last one. But if you did play the RB Battles game during this time, you should have some experience with it, as you just have to be running across the tiles and get more completed than Creecraft does. You have a 3-minute timer at the top, so just make sure you finish it beforehand. Once you do that, you're not done here. DJ Monopoly will destroy this wall in front of you, and now there's another obby to do, the Lava Obby. This obby isn't too difficult, it's kind of just the pressure of how long this is and just trying to get it done the quickest. If you do hit anything, you don't actually just like die instantly, you just take a bit of damage, which can always be healed with Sabrina's Sword of Healing. Once you get to the end, there'll be this ladder, and then you're in this hallway. And now this is the true final section of it. You're in this kind of like ice area. This little cutscene will play where there's this massive ice ball behind you. Once the ice cutscene finishes, you just want to go through this obby. This one is way shorter compared to the previous one. Once you make it to the end, there'll be this other cutscene, and this portal will spawn. Going to the portal, you'll then be teleported to this like golden area. Keep going forward and there'll be this RB Battles roller coaster. Once the roller coaster starts moving, you'll be in this like recap trip. It's going to show you things from each game that was in this event. I personally love this part just because of like how creative they can kind of get with this. It truly makes you like look back at what you did during this event, so I think it's just a good thing that they did this in season 3 as well. Once you're at the end, you'll be in this like red carpet area with all the developers of this event. Going up to JP and touching the champion trophy he's holding is the end of this event, and you'll be awarded with your respective item. And behind you there's this portal that says enter this portal, you deserve it. And the credits for this event will play with a special RB Battle song called The Friends We Made. But remember, the first 30 players to finish this event would receive the Hood of Champions. And on December 12th, 2020 at 1:49 PM PST, Demir Val was the first to obtain the Hood of Champions. But he's not the first like legitimate owner of this item. On screen I have a list of all 30 owners of the Hood of Champions. So the true first owner was George8989898989 at 2:51 PM PST. The reason why I say Demir Val is not legit is because they are a known exploiter. Demir Val, who is the first person to complete this, and Caroli Tario 2020 was the 4th person to finish this, are confirmed exploiters. These players were seen exploiting in the Lobu Mooncape Festival event and in the RB Battles minigames. There is video footage of one of them exploiting, which I will hopefully provide right here. Also, if you notice the time gap, Demir won like an hour before everyone else, which clearly was not legit. Because of an exploiter taking up the spots though, if you look at this list though and then go to 31, Puppy2233 was the 31st person to finish the final battle. But because of these exploiters taking space on the leaderboard, Puppy did not win the item, which I believe is completely undeserved. Puppy didn't exploit, so I believe he should have been awarded the Hood of Champions in replace for these exploiters. And then on number 23, Regenerate was terminated off the Roblox platform in 2023 for entirely unrelated reasons. So there isn't 30 Hood of Champions on the platform currently. And then on player 30, which is Dur_fan, he didn't know that he actually won the Hood of Champions because he wasn't actually given the badge or the item right when he finished. The badge is only awarded to 29 players as opposed to the attended 30. Dur_fan didn't know he won the Hood of Champions until about a couple months later. He doesn't have the Hood of Champions badge, but it is assumed that approximately 2 days after winning the final battle, an admin awarded him with his item respectfully. Something interesting that I like to point out about the Hood of Champions though, is that the number 9th player, Boardingalot647, was actually an Xbox player. I find it incredibly impressive that he actually beat this on a controller, because like, I could not do that. A big reason as to why it took so long for all 30 Hood of Champions to be claimed, 4 hours to be exact, is because of how buggy the final was. They did delay this final battle by like a week, but there was not enough polish for it to be released in my personal opinion. Some bugs would be, players would sometimes be teleported outside the map after the boss fight with the hands. The time until the final battle starts timer would not appear, which also made it impossible to escape the door room. If a player had died during the minigame sequence that had come back, they would see the progress predicament cube at the end of the obby instead of the battle arena. This made it impossible to progress. During the fight against Ashley the Unicorn, dodgeballs had a chance to not regenerate, therefore leaving nothing for the battler or Ashley to throw. If the player manages to have the timer run out in the fight against Hyper, it will go into the negatives because this fight is impossible. The fight during Tanker would sometimes jam the player's controls, making it impossible to even slightly progress. During the minigame introduction cutscene for the fight against Tanker or Creecraft, there was a chance for the player to simply die without a reason. For the lava obby, there's a chance that the starting pillars are raised higher than usual, sometimes almost reaching the roof. If a player has a bad internet connection at the end of the cart ride after they touch the yellow portal, they can fall into the void before being teleported to the red carpet room and die. A big reason for all of these bugs and why this final battle was kinda unpolished is said by DJ Monopoly. The only reason the final battle was rushed last time is because the person who was supposed to be working on it all year wasn't really working on it, and we didn't realize that until like 1 month before. We had a team of people working on it for the last couple weeks. They had a lot of tasks. But with that being said, if you weren't one of the first 30 players to finish, but the first 10,000, you were awarded with the Golden Antlers of Honor. And if you were anything past the 10,000 mark, you'll be awarded the Antlers of Honor. Now there isn't like a current way to access this final battle, but the host said this on a live stream.
Are you gonna put any events from the past, like the rap battle from the Hunt, Call Machine Simulator?
Yeah, so basically we need a season 4 first before we could do that. But if we get season 4, we'll consider doing a time trials thing for all the past events.
So maybe eventually we'll be able to play this final battle again without all of the bugs. On December 17, 2020, everyone who voted Tanker as the winner of the Season 2 competition would be awarded with the Gold Lika Battle Chain. In order to get this, you must have voted on the RB Battles website before November 19, 2020. A couple months after this event ended, the Bloxies happened, and RB Battles ended up winning the Best Live Event award. so they won a Bloxy. About a month later in May, they released the Friends We Made music video. This was a fully animated music video of their song The Friends We Made, and it ends off with a teaser for Season 3. But that basically concludes the RB Battle Season 2 event. I still have some things to say though. Hi, long time no see. I know it's been a year since my last upload, and I just want to apologize for that straight off the bat here. The reason for that was just I started my first year of college and I just could not find time in order to record and edit these videos, as these take so much time. I am incredibly grateful for all my subscribers that still subscribe even though I wasn't uploading and comment on my videos. That truly made me want to return, and I'm really glad to be here and you're watching this video. Now overall, this RB Battles event was pretty lackluster looking at it in retrospect. I did get pretty nostalgic recording and editing this video because I honestly forgot this entire event. The main goal of my videos is to make them as informative and as detailed as possible, but I may have struggled with that a tiny bit during this video, which I hope isn't too much of a problem. This event was pretty lackluster in what was documented, and I was digging and I couldn't find everything I could kind of remember, but I think I got most of it down. I personally thought Season 3 of RB Battles was better than Season 2, but Season 2 was still like a great start with the idea that they had, and I love the inspiration they took for it. Moving forward with just my channel though, I do plan to upload as much as I can moving forward. I'm moving into my second year of college in September, so I'm really hoping that I can still find time to produce content, as I really do enjoy doing this. If you aren't aware, I don't have monetization on any of these videos, and I don't plan to turn monetization on for probably a while. I don't receive any sort of income from my YouTube channel, as this is literally just for the community. These events do mean a lot to me, and I feel like sharing these videos is just kind of like my love letter to them. Moving forward, I currently still have 2 more videos planned. Be a teaser for one of them if you stay after the credits of this, which I'm really excited to start working on because those events are just so good, and I'm really excited to talk about them. But besides that though, that kind of covers all I personally have to say. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like and comment, as those go a long way for me. Also, please follow my Twitter, as I'm posting frequent updates and other things relating to Roblox on there. But yeah, that kind of concludes it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Even if you didn't get any grand prize in this event or any other events, I hope you still haven't forgotten the main goal of these events. They're not for the grand prizes, therefore the friends we make along the way.
Judges? Judges?
And gather the badges just in time. Then you slayed that final battle, and now I have to make this line run. This song doesn't make any sense, but at least it sounds pretty good. Hopefully you finish top 30 to get that champion's hood. This is the song that plays when you finish the game.